Welcome. So I see some familiar faces, and then a lot of new faces. So basically, I've been doing hosting a free meetup since Anna, didn't you come to my first one or my second one?
Second.
It was like March of 2018, right? Yeah, so for almost 2 years, I've been doing like a free meetup in the community just to get everybody up to speed and kind of the community, right? Because it's a community of us that does wholesaling. So how many people are actually familiar with what wholesaling is? Raise your hand, right? If you have done a deal before, raise your hand. If you've completed a deal before, raise your hand. Cool, so we're gonna talk about a lot of new stuff, right? But does everybody know the concept of wholesaling? Are we good with that? I'm not seeing a lot of 100% sures, right? Essentially, we find deeply discounted properties, and we put these properties under contract, and which we assume equitable interest on this contract, which is the house, and then we sell that equitable interest to somebody that is in the game of flipping houses or buy and hold. And we do this at scale. Started off with 1, 2, 10, 30, 100, 200, and it just keeps going, right? So for us that has done a deal, you know that it's doable. And my slogan that I always say is you're one deal away. And the reason why I say that is because you're truly one deal away. My story is about 3.5 years, not even half. A little over 3 years now, I was broke, back home, Winston-Salem, right here, living back at my mom's house at the age of about 31, I would say. I'm 35 now, so whatever that equals out to. I lost everything. Not that I did anything crazy, another business failed, another one. How many of you guys have failed at a business before? Good, right? Because you're gonna fail a lot in life until you get to the point where all your failures have taught you something and you get to the point where you're ready to be successful. But what happens is people give up. Their failures, they stop. So whatever you do, don't stop. Maybe you may not succeed at wholesaling. Maybe it's the next thing. Maybe it's the next thing after that. But as long as you don't stop and don't give up, then you're gonna get there, and that's the definition. All of my failures, I've had 12 failed businesses. Oh my God, how many of you guys would have stopped at like 3 and 4, right? I had 12. The last one really wiped me out pretty bad. I was paying rent with my credit card. How many of you guys ever done that? I'm the only one? You done it too? Okay, so you know where that's at. There's like a website you can like put in your credit card information and they'll send them a check. And you know the credit card is like 19 to 25% interest, and you don't have it anyways, so it just keeps piling up, and eventually they cut you off, right? So that kind of happened to me, right? The car got repoed. I was driving a terrible Volkswagen with a bad starter on it. But in those exact conditions is how I got my first deal. And I literally just studied online. I went to YouTube, podcast, anything that I could find information about wholesale, and I just became obsessed. But I will say that many entrepreneurs have what we call obsessive personality. Luckily, I'm obsessed with the right things and not drugs, because I'd be a bad crackhead. I mean, I would be strung out. Because I have that addictive personality, and it allows me to never give up, right? So here we are, 3.5 years later. We've probably done over 250 deals. We have 14 employees. We mainly do the triad market, but we do JVs some places across the country when we can, and all over the Carolinas. So, I say all that to say I don't know where everybody else in this room is where in that position in their life. Just know that I was all the way down, zero, down, all the way down. And in 3 years, in a very 3 short years, I got to this point where I am today. And I couldn't say I would, when people say, oh yeah, I knew I was gonna get here. I did not know I was gonna get here. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm here now and it feels great. All my failures have prepared me for this position that I'm in now. So I tell you that story just so you know that wherever you are in life now, don't give up, keep going, and there's a way. And wholesaling for me was the gateway drug into real estate. And we do real estate investing now, everything from multifamily, single family, flips, buy and holds, land, new builds, everything in a very short year. So I've just become obsessed with the whole real estate investing, everything. And it is the most creative, I'm obsessed with it because no 2 days are the same. So let's get back to wholesale though. So essentially we find these properties, deeply discounted properties, and you're saying, where do you find these deeply discounted properties at? If you said you've done a deal before, raise your hand so I can see you. All right, so I'm gonna pick on you. Your last deal, what was the problem? Where did you find that deal?
In Surrey County.
And what was the situation? What was the problem that the person was having?
They had Franken houses.
Franking?
Sell them.
What's a Franken house?
It's a single wide that they made into a house.
That's a new term for me. I'm learning. A Franken
House.
Franken house.
Yeah.
And they took a single wide trailer, mobile home.
Yep, made it into a house.
And is that illegal?
Well, in Surrey County, they don't care.
Yeah, that's right. You can do whatever kind of you want in Surrey County.
Yeah, they don't care.
And so they had this property.
They had this property, there was actually a double wide in the back. It was on 3.75 acres. And he couldn't sell it. And he was working in Greensboro, living in Mount Airy, and wanted to be closer.
So his problem was, one, he couldn't sell his property on the market because it was a Franken house. Learned that today. Two, he was tired of the commute back and forth from Mount Airy to Greensboro, which is probably what?
140 miles round trip.
Okay, wow.
A day.
A day. Okay, so he needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
And you swooped in.
We did.
And helped him.
It was, actually, this wasn't a wholesale deal. It was going to be a wholesale deal, but we figured it would be better as a buy and hold.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was, we're total out of pocket $700 on a $60,000 deal.
So he had a mortgage balance?
We did part of it sub-2, we did part owner financing, and we got other people's money to do the down payment.
So
we needed $15,000 to get into his new house.
There you go. So she solved this problem. So essentially, we're problem solvers. Who else has done a deal? Let's go through, because I want to kind of, how about you, right there? Both of y'all together? No?
We are.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
So my first deal was, I called for one property, but he ended up having two properties that he wanted to sell and get rid of right away. So we wholesaled both of those. His issue was he was retired from the state. He didn't get as much as he thought he would have gotten for retirement, and he wanted to free up some
Capital.
but he couldn't sell the properties. Well, he felt kind of bad about it because the tenants that were in there were like close people to him. They weren't really paying rent, all of that.
Oh, wow.
He was like, I need to sell these fast because I need money. I need money to retire.
Got it. So this guy's problem was he retired, thought he was going to get a nest egg of probably some residual monthly money. Whatever his nest egg wasn't big enough, and he had dreams of aspirations of probably putting his feet in the sand somewhere. And he had tenants in the property that he did not want to kick out. Is that true? Right, so he wanted to emotionally detach himself from being the landlord. And the quickest and simple way for him to do that was to sell the property, so when you kicked him out or the next person kicked him out, it wasn't his problem. Right? So these are repeated things that happen. What happens is properties that we usually find are abandoned, inherited, tired landlords, which simply means that somebody is a tired landlord like he was. He probably had all intentions to put somebody in that was going to pay, that was a friend or family. They didn't pay. He didn't have the landlord guts to go out there and kick them out, so he just wanted to sell it. And she was able to help them. They were able to help them and offer him cash, which was he was happy with the offer. And you guys wholesaled it?
Yes.
And you a buy and hold investor or a flipper?
One of them was a buy and hold because it was actually sitting on a great amount of land that person could build 2 additional houses on. Mm-hmm. But the other one, I think he held it. I actually don't know. It was I never saw the guy. He lived somewhere else. He literally purchased it. We closed in like 14 days.
If you don't mind me asking, was that your first deal, right?
That was my first deal.
What did you make?
On that house, I feel like it was $7,000.
Okay.
It was a little over 7. The other property was around that, maybe a little less. Probably.
So you made $14,000-$15,000. How many hours did you have involved in the entire thing?
Not.
Give me a guess.
I don't know. Let me see. I don't even know. I know that was less than 200 calls though, because it was the first list that I ever even purchased.
Particularly that deal. How much time did you have in that exact deal, from the time you made contact to the time you went to the closing table? How many hours did you invest speaking to them, the seller, the buyer?
It's definitely under 40, 100% under 40. Like if I were to have put 40 hours into any job, I wouldn't have made that money.
Yeah.
But it was definitely under 40 because we sold it in 14 days. I didn't even have the time to do as much. You know, we advertised it, we got a few people in, and it was sold before I even had a contract. I literally had to go to your group on Facebook like, I need a contract. I don't even know how to do this. So we got the deal before I even knew how to do the deal. But
Yeah.
I knew like, this is a deal. I'm not going to pass it by. I went to the guy's house, told him I'm going to come with a contract tomorrow. I literally just went on your thing. And just,
So she probably had about 25 hours total into the deal. That's talking to somebody at 14 grand, that's $560 an hour. How many of you guys make $560 an hour? Right, so you get what I'm getting at. So what happens is the hustle and how did you, so I'm gonna keep digging, right? Because this is a good case study. What list did you get? Why did you decide to get this list, and how did you get it?
Well, YouTube told me to get the list, so I got the list. I did it through ListSource.
Okay.
And then skip traced it, and one of my gifts is I actually love cold calling.
Got it. She loves talking to people.
I love cold calling. So, yeah.
You just talk to them like a regular human and say, hey, I think you have a property that you might be willing to sell?
Yeah, pretty much.
And he said, which one? And you said, this one?
I said both of them.
And he said, how did you know?
Well, I mean, he literally said, well, which property are you referring to?
And then I got big-eyed.
He said, which property are you referring to? I have one wherever he said, and one da-da-da-da. I said both of them. But then, of course, I read the one that I knew of, and then that's when
He got you the other one.
But he said it was a gift from God that I called him because he's been looking to sell those properties for a long time. And I'm a realtor too, so I told him the realtor route, and I was like, it's not going to sell on the market, so this is probably.
This is becoming a great case study.
It was an amazing person. Yeah.
So you're a licensed realtor in the state of North Carolina?
I am.
Okay. Could you have listed this home, both of them, and sell them on the open market?
It would have been on the market for a long time, and it probably wouldn't have sold.
Correct.
And I wouldn't have made that much.
Yeah, let's
So I do prefer wholesaling over.
Let's do the math. What would you have probably made? Are you at a 90% split at your brokerage, 70%?
I'm actually at a 64% split.
Okay. Irrelevant, but if the two houses would have sold on the market for maybe what?
Maybe 157. If I'm going by the.
What did you sell them for? How about that?
I feel like it was around. One of them was 90. About 90. The other one was like 120. So 90 plus 120. I would have to like times that by 64%.
Actually, yeah, you would take that by 6%, because you would.
Yeah, it would be.
And then take half of 6%, which is 3%.
Well, they actually do 2.5.
Oh,
So
2 point.
The seller's agent would do 2.6, and the buyer's agent would get 2.5. That's if it's at a 6% split.
Wow.
Which a lot of the time, in his case, I would have had to done a 5% because he's literally saying I don't have, you know what I mean?
So you would have made half of 2.5%.
So it would have been like, yeah, it would have been a very low commission.
I'm just curious. I gotta know.
I would probably. I'm curious, but I didn't even care to do all of that because I'm like, I know I'm making this, and I wouldn't have made it, but.
You'd make $2,600 and $2,625. $2,625.
That sounds about right.
For a lot more work.
A lot more work.
Paperwork, anyways.
Paperwork, a lot more legal stuff.
So basically, what I'm trying to case study to you guys is that if you have the hustle and determination, if you don't mind, how much money did you cost to buy the list?
Like $34.
Okay, skip tracing, roughly.
Possibly around the same, because it was only a list of like 200.
So you're around let's say $75. Let's say $100 in, and your time, and then the phone, which you probably called from your iPhone or cell phone.
I sure did.
So $100, 25 hours, got you $14,000. She's not staged. I never met neither one of them. The point I'm trying to get at is if you have the hustle and the determination to learn, then you can go out and do the same thing. Now, there is some people that will say wholesaling is negative, but you have a licensed realtor. I used to be a realtor, and I tell you what, as a realtor, you don't want to put crappy properties on your MLS log. Point blank, period. That's just not, we don't like to do that. As licensed people, we like to have the better listings. Am I correct? You're a licensed realtor, right? She is. I remember you. We're supposed to connect. Okay, good. See, I'm not crazy. So basically, she got a list of absentee owners, I guess. Yep. From ListSource, $30, skip tracing, just say 50 and 50, $100, made some phone calls, right? So that's the biggest thing. A lot of people hate making phone calls. How many of you guys hate talking to strangers? Raise your hand. It's common, right? It's common. People hate talking to strangers. Have you ever been like in a line somewhere, fast food, waiting together, and you're just terrified to talk to the person in front and behind you? Some people are like that. They're like, I don't want to talk to the stranger. It's real simple. Was a conversation crazy where you would just say, hey, look, I'm interested in buying some property. You want to sell?
Yeah, that's
pretty simple. How many calls were you in at that point?
I still have not even finished the list, actually.
So, that's just a good story. But
I didn't even want to.
So, to understand some of the mechanics of wholesaling, you go out and you find properties and you find problems. That's really what we go out and find. We don't really find properties, we're searching for problems. And the reason why she pulled an absentee owners list is simple. Because absentee means, and I'll tell you, break it down. Absentee simply is determined by this. When you buy a house, the owner's name, whether it's a company, LLC, or trust, goes on that property. If the mailing address for the tax bill is different than the actual property, that means the bill is being mailed somewhere else, that makes them be considered a absentee owner, right? Because if I live at 123 Main Street, I want all my bills from the county to come from 123 Main Street. But if I own 123 Main Street and I live somewhere on Stratford Road, then that probably means that I'm renting that property out as an investment. And what happens is there's a window of opportunity, I like to call it. And this window of opportunity is always moving, right? So the list is the absentee. Now, you know what? 98% of the people on that list don't want to sell. But that one person that she called was a gift from God that said, that's what he told you, right? That said that he was ready to sell and didn't know how to go about selling it and blah, blah, blah. You offered him the real estate route, the traditional route, but he wanted the cash offer because he needed that. So you solved his problem. You solved your problem because making $560 an hour is a good problem to solve. And then also the flipper and the buy and hold, the investor on the other end has to spend money in order to avoid taxes, in order to build a personal portfolio, in order to get passive income. So they need these off-market properties that typically are not sold online. So do you kind of understand kind of the mechanics of wholesaling? Sometimes I go too fast. I get excited about wholesaling. Typically how this meetup works is I don't like to sit up here and just talk. I'm not a preacher. I really want you guys to ask questions. And these questions will allow me to be able to give you guys, real direct answers of the situations that you're actually having going on right now. Because some of you guys have started, some of you have analysis paralysis. If you have analysis paralysis, raise your hand. It's okay. You still have analysis paralysis? Sit up here, man. Get up. Come on. Get up here. Get up here. We're gonna get up here. Okay. We gotta fix this. This is probably like your 9th or.
I'm a motivational speaker too.
Yeah. This is probably like your 8th. This is probably your 8th meetup.
Well, I have issues, so I have to talk.
He has issues. He's a recovering real estate agent.
Yeah.
So I'm just messing with you, but you stay right there because I want to figure this out. How many of you guys know what the word analysis paralysis is? Right? It's simply when you, when you want to know everything before you start. Everything. And guess what? You're never going to know everything. So guess what? You never start. Right? How many of you guys are conference junkies? You know what that is? When you go to every single conference and meetup and everything that is available, you've got $5,000, $10,000 invested into education and you haven't even picked up the phone and called somebody? Don't do that. You don't need to do that. Just take action. Take imperfect action. Move fast. How long ago was that first deal?
Last year, March.
And like when you got into wholesaling, how did you discover it? Just ran across it somewhere, right? It was in the elevator together. You don't know. You start losing memory as you start wholesaling. It happened to me too. But how long before you found out about it did you start taking action?
Oh, I took action right away. I was like, this is genius. So what my husband and I did actually, once we did find out about it, we were like, this is great. And we, on a Sunday, I remember clearly, Sunday morning, we woke up, we said this whole day is going to be dedicated to learning about this whole thing. So for the entire day, we just watched YouTube videos. We did I don't even know how much YouTube videos I watched. I watched you, I watched everything, read a book in a day, and then the next day we bought the book.
You have an obsessive personality like I do.
Yeah.
You just crunch it and just go.
So we took days off work just to bust out calls. I was like, F it, I'm just going to bust out some calls. Then I ended up quitting my job, and now I do real estate full time.
Perfect. I love that. So let's get to the point where we are. First of all, if you are having analysis paralysis, raise your hand one more time. There was more hands up the first time. What happened? You guys don't have analysis paralysis anymore? You figured it out? For those who've raised your hand and you have analysis paralysis, I've seen a lot over in this area. Tell me something you're stuck on. Because let's figure this out. Speak up. Anybody.
I can do mine.
Right here. Yeah, you're in the therapy couch right now. What's going on?
So mine is the programs. I feel like I've watched all his videos and I'm like, there's 100 programs he uses. And I'm not savvy at those programs as much as I am just face to face. And
How many of them have you bought?
nothing yet because I'm scared. I'm like, okay, it's the death of 1,000 cuts.
I feel like Dr. Phil, right? You guys just... We're going to go to commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to... What's your name? Derek. We're going to talk with Derek about his analysis paralysis and his programs. No, seriously, listen. So this is common, right? You have two types of people. One that are going to buy every single program they have, right? And they got about $600 of programs being drafted out their bank account every month. And then you have the one that looks at every single program, goes on the website 15 times, reads through the FAQ, calls customer service, asks all the questions, and this was 9 months ago and he still hasn't done anything. How many programs did you purchase in order to do what you did?
None. I just got a list and used my iPhone.
Right? So this is, I'm not picking on him. I know he can take this. That's why he's up here. Listen, don't fall victim to analysis paralysis. It's simply your mind tricking you that you need to know everything. Yep. Raise your hand if you know everything. I would kick you out of here right now. Put your hand down. Nobody knows everything. I don't know everything. I just learned what a Frank house is, Frankenhouse. So, do those things come with code violations or they don't?
That's why I just got the notice, I left Brian Nealon's office because I got some notice in the mail from Surrey County. They want us to do the tax listing. And I have no idea what we put on there because part of it has a concrete foundation and the other part is kind of floating, and there's where they added some stuff on the back where the porch is. It kind of goes down the step. So it's pretty interesting. And he did fabulous work. I mean, the work. We had some guy go in there, his meth head, you didn't know. But his meth head,
They're tricky.
Yeah, he cleaned the property out for us and got everything out. Well, part of the clean out was he was burning some stuff in the front yard. And
Surrey County, y'all.
Yeah, he had that bad windstorm that came through. So one of the neighbors had called because it was overnight, and the fire department came and said he had to put the fire out because the winds were too much. Well, here we are a week later after the property's cleaned out. We've got a tenant in the property, and something exploded in the front yard overnight, 2 nights ago. It literally missed the house by maybe 4 feet before the neighbor came out and put the fire out. And if it had got to the house with all the polyurethane that is all over the inside, because of this Franken house has beautiful woodwork, I mean beautiful, it would have went up like a patch, a box of matches.
Not good, Frankenhouses. I'm gonna look that stuff up. Learn something every day.
It's amazing.
So the idea behind this is you don't need to know everything, right? You don't need to know A through Z. You just need to take your first step. Go from A to B. While you're stepping, figure out C before your feet hits the ground. It's literally that simple. What I did is I focused on one or two problems that I could identify. One was delinquent taxes. How many of you guys know what delinquent taxes are? It's simply when you own a house and your tax bill comes out, I think every January or something, or September, I don't remember what it is. But then you owe the money and you don't pay it. And in North Carolina, when you don't pay it, it's not like they run to your house and start put a for sale sign in it. They let it go for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've seen 10 years. Right? But these tax bills start to amount up. Now, if somebody can't afford their tax bill, what does that mean? They're in some type of financial distress, because guess what? North Carolina taxes are pretty low. Right? And also, if you're paying your own tax bill, what does that usually mean? You don't have a mortgage. Right? How many guys know what's inside of a mortgage? Like your mortgage payment. How many people know what's inside your mortgage payment? Raise your hand, right? What's inside your mortgage payment?
Principal, interest, taxes, insurance.
Right, so PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. The principal is the amount of money you borrowed. The interest is the cost each month that it costs you to borrow. The taxes is what you owe the county and the city, and the insurance is in case the house burns down, the insurance company will pay out the actual mortgage company so that they won't lose on the principal amount of money that they have. So if the person is responsible for paying your own taxes, means the house is owned free and clear. Or they may have a HELOC on it, or they could, but mainly it means that it's free and clear. Get what I'm saying? So I love that because one, the property was free and clear most of the time, and they're behind on taxes, which means there's some financial distress. And the other problem that I love solving was probates. How many of you guys know what probate is? I didn't know. My first deal forced me to find out what probate is, right? So probate is simply when someone passes away, they have a will or they don't have a will, so they die testate or intestate, and then somebody inherits their personal belongings, including real estate. Well, typically, and most of the time, they don't want to inherit it, they can't afford to inherit it, and they rather just sell it so they don't have to deal with the taxes and an extra house that nobody wants. Most people don't want to be landlords. Most people don't, grandma passes away, you moved to Denver 10 years ago. You don't want to come back to Winston-Salem. Marijuana's legal out there. You don't want to come back here. So they just want to sell it. They can usually do all the family affairs over the phone, or they file paperwork here locally, but they want to get rid of the property. So those are the two problems that I identified that I can simply say, I know where the tax office is. I know how to look that stuff up. Well, I learned. And I know where probate office is, where I learned. I said, why don't I just focus on these two things? And if I can solve one problem a month and make $14,000 a month, then I'll be okay, right? Because $14,000 a month is not a bad salary.
No.
Not at all. So don't go wild and go what I call on a wide list. Don't go out and try to solve a bunch of problems. Identify a problem that you can follow the paper trail. Taxes, when you're delinquent on them, have to go through a certain process. Right? So if you understand that and you learn the process, then you can intervene at any point during that process before the house gets sold at the courthouse steps. Or online. Yeah, I think Forsyth still does it on the steps, right? So probates, same thing. More than likely, I think they say 98% of all houses that are inherited end up being sold within 2 years. Duh. Guess where I'm going to hang out at? Right? So you need to get off. I don't know what you need to do. What's your next? So you're buying all these programs. No, you're
Not buying one.
You're not buying anything.
You haven't sold one.
I haven't sold one. No, I don't have one. But what do you just haven't? You haven't taken any steps. So is that the only thing that's stopping you?
No, so my dilemma is, I just went through a divorce and it was nasty.
They're never good.
Right.
Anybody been through a good divorce?
Like just being lean and mean and working like crazy. I know mentally, okay, if I go out and get a deal, I got $14,000, and that's going to chunk away at the issues I've had going through it. Versus, but yet my job is like secure, and I can work as many hours as I want. And so I've got all this planned out, like, okay, I'm going to climb out, I'm going to be done this year, and then I'll start this. But I feel like I'm in the hole, and I'm like, and I've started businesses before, and I'm always like, I'm scared to start them when I'm in the hole. And I mean, like buying lists, I mean, I know they cost money, and I keep looking going, okay.
Don't buy any lists.
And take a chance, or I can go to work at my job and make more money and sock that away, and it's.
I work a full-time job, and I made 6 figures last year doing wholesale.
Part-time.
Part-time.
One of my mentors, Mr. Robinson, says, I'm going to mess this up, I know. There's 2 doors in life, right? You guys remember this? So help me out in case I forget this. There's 2 doors in life. One is security, and the one is comfort. Right? You guys help me finish the line here.
He says if you choose one,
you lose both.
If you choose security, you lose your freedom as well. If you choose freedom, then you're free. Is that what he said?
No. You have security, the door that says security, and you have a door that says comfort.
Comfort.
Am I right? Did I mess that up? Freedom. I'm lying. No, that's not right.
You said comfort first.
The point is, don't choose either door. Okay? Go outside. Listen, don't listen, when you work a job, you're not secure.
Right.
At any point in time, somebody else can walk in and you're no longer secure. Right? So to have this tool where we can go out and build generational wealth or grab yourself out of debt like I did, you can easily take that $14,000, set aside some money for taxes, set aside a little bit of money for remarketing, and then go out and pay off debt if that's what you want to do. It didn't cost her any money to get her first deal, $100. I would assume that she's going to try to do the same thing again and again, and then maybe invest into something that can speed up the process. You kind of told me a lot of this stuff before, and this is over the last 6 months, and we're still in this position, right? And I'm picking on him because a lot of you are in the same boat. So I'm using him as an example, and I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to a lot of you out there. So I have no other thing for you than to just say go. You can't lose anything by going. You're losing a lot by standing still. A lot. You have the knowledge of real estate. You're a broker. You've done transactions, some high-end transactions. So you understand the schematics of what real estate's about. I think you're just afraid to make that jump because you've chosen that door of comfort, or you've chosen that door of stability. You got to get out. You got to push yourself out. There's a lot of people in here, including myself, that started from absolutely nothing. Anna, didn't you take yourself out of debt? Didn't you rescue yourself?
Absolutely. Me and my son.
You and your son. Her son's amazing, by the way. Didn't you just go on a beautiful vacation back to Brazil? I was living vicariously through your Facebook the whole time.
I went to Brazil with a new mindset. This time I was looking for vacant lots and properties and finding my way to also help my family
Yeah.
very soon.
So all I'm telling you is, man, you're not the only one in the situation that you're in. If you look at the statistics, most of Americans are in the same situation you're in. You just got to go out there and do. And the best time to start a business is when you're in the negative, not when you got money.
Are you motivated?
You got to be motivated. Because I see a lot of people on the opposite end that just throw money at this wholesale and blow $50,000, $100,000 before they realize, I just suck at this, and I need to go back and pick that door that I walked outside on. Right? So next month, I don't want to hear the same story. And we'll go out there and do something.
Okay.
All right, go have a seat. Thank you. All right, so who else has a question? Over here in the corner.
I think with me, my biggest hurdle will be finding. I feel like I need to find X amount of investors. I feel like in my head, it's like maybe if I have like 10 investors, that'll give me some type of comp. Whereas if I do find a good deal, I can immediately pick one of those 10, something like that. So like in my head, I have a set number of investors that I feel like I need to get. I think that's my issue.
So
I don't have 10 investors, or I don't have that magic number of investors. It
Yeah.
tends to make me prolong the process.
it's another common issue I hear all the time is I need to go out and find buyers first. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you have a deal, you have to fight buyers off of you. So maybe your issue is not finding buyers, but actually knowing how to calculate a correct deal. You're not confident on that side. Because if you knew you could find a deal, it wouldn't matter. But you're not confident on finding and calculating a real deal. So you blame it on not having investors.
So if I find it's okay, so let's say I get a deal, what reassurance would I have that an investor would know that I have a deal? How would I market it?
Yeah, so okay, now we're getting down to like the nitty gritty. So like, if you have a deal, you're gonna calculate the deal correctly, right? You're gonna learn from somebody in this room, you're gonna learn on YouTube, you're gonna learn somewhere to learn how to calculate a correct deal. Numbers are numbers. If you start with the correct ARV, and if you have the repairs correct, there's literally no room for error. You just need to get good at those two things. Give me a ballpark figure of what the property is worth, fixed up, and roughly what the cost of repairs are gonna be. If you're in that good ballpark, everything else is sitting plugging math. I had problem going through Algebra 1. So if I can do it, I know you can plug the numbers in and just do it. So get confident on analyzing a deal. We call it underwriting. Get confident at underwriting a deal. Because what type of work do you do full time now?
I'm a store manager.
At what kind of store?
Downtown Locker Room.
Okay, DTLR.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all sell shoes and stuff and clothes and all that stuff, right? All right, so I'm gonna bring this back to your world. A pair of Jordans just released, right? And what are they typically priced at?
$200.
If you can go out and get that same pair of Jordan for $100, do you need to go out and find a buyer first? Or you know you got a deal? You see how your eyes just lit up? So the same way you feel about those Jordans, the same way I feel about houses. I know I got a deal. I don't need to do no calculation. I know I got a deal. I know soon as I walk out the store, go to post Craigslist, text 5 friends, they sold. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Y'all trade shoes, I trade houses. It's the same confidence that you know what those Jordans are 210, 219, yo, no, those released for 217 and 69 cents. The same confidence you need to have on those houses. Because when you have a deal, you got a deal. So really focus on getting to know those numbers, and that'll be your only obstacle to go out there and do everything else. Use that analogy all the time. Yes?
With evaluating the property, my biggest struggle is like the numbers are all over the place. So
As far as like finding ARV and stuff?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's like house like 60,000 that was just sold, and another one that's similar is like 120.
Okay. Where are you looking for your data at when you do that?
Zillow, Redfin.
So you're looking at the sold comps?
Yeah.
So you're saying like in a neighborhood? Let's just say you got a house in a neighborhood. And you're saying, man, I got this house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet. One of them sold for 60, one of them sold for 120. So are you digging into these two properties? Look at the one that sold for 60. See if it was a wholesale deal. See if it was in disrepair. And then look at the one that sold for 120 and say, well, wait, look, click on the pictures. So wait, they fixed this thing up. Or it wasn't all the way fixed up, but you know, they repainted, put some new carpet. So now you have two sides of the story. 60 was probably a wholesale deal. 120 is probably retail. So you need to figure out where you're at on that spectrum, right? I'm talking about if it's the same 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house within the same 200 square feet of each other, now you're just saying, okay, where does the property I'm looking at fit on this scale? 120 was the one that sold for retail. 60 was the one that needed some work. Am I at the 60 or am I below the 60? You know what the top end is now, it's 120. So now you do calculations from the 120. If it's a little bit more square feet, do a simple calculation and say, how much square footage did the retail one sell for per square foot? And if you're 200 square feet more, then add about 75% of the more value per square foot. So if you're going for $100 a square foot, add about $75 a square foot to the value.
For the bigger one.
For the bigger one. Now I'm just saying if your house is off a little bit for the one that sold. Simply when you're finding out an ARV or property, all you're doing is finding a property that recently sold on retail. Isn't that right, Francis? So all we do, and you can do it from Zillow, but you have to look at sold data, not what's listed, sold. Typically in the last 6 months. I first started 90 days. And I try to stay in the same neighborhood. If I can't go in the same neighborhood, I'm going to half a mile, then maybe a mile. And then I don't really start to go out a mile. I start to then roll my time further back. 90 days, half a mile, nothing. 60 days, 120 days. Oh, okay, we found some. Because in good areas, in good neighborhoods, things don't really go for sale that much. So sometimes you have to go back 120 days, 6 months, whatever, to find what was the most recent sold property. Get what I'm saying? Don't make it complex. Francis is my realtor that works in office with us. He's been working for us. We've been working together for 2 years now? More than 2 years. 2.5. 2.5 years. I met him. I sold him the house he lives in. I just sold him another house he's about to move into. So he does our underwriting in our office along with Shannon. Where's Shannon? Raise your hand. Shannon is our lead salesperson. She sells all. She's the one who negotiates all the deals, all that stuff like that. So those are the two that know how to underwrite deals in our office. How long does it take you to look at a property and get an ARV, Francis?
Yeah, you want to, see a little red pin, then you want to compare, see the tax value, see what's sold the last 3 months, just like what Max is saying. And then, you have to, and you also have to see more or less, in your, like here in Winston, between 120 and 150 is going to sell in a week.
Correct.
So, and then if there is enough room there to really do a nice rehab, then you can actually go over the normal, price for that area. But they're not out there, So when we go in and find a good deal, then we really, we put 20,000, we update it really nice, and then we get top dollar. So.
And we always sell in a week or less.
We sell in a week. So.
But how much time does it take you now that you understand the schematics of the underwriting process and getting the ARV? How much time does it take you to spit out a range of a property?
Yeah, I know this area, so it takes me 30 seconds. But,
What about you, Shannon?
But
yeah, well, Francis taught me, so usually about
45.
What are some of your favorite resources you use to start evaluating properties? Because now, when Shannon came in, every property had to go through me or Francis before she made an offer on, and pretty much now she can make offers on the properties without ever consulting any of us. What are some of the favorite things you like to use?
I like to use Zillow on PropStream. It's my favorite.
The good thing about Zillow is that as soon as you put that address and bring the house in Zillow, the first thing that's going to show you is how many bedrooms and baths, how much square footage, what year the house is. All those things are super important. because, you know, the nearer the house, the better deal you're looking at. And then, you know, you got 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, you know, everybody wants 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. So, and, so Zillow, you know, Zillow give you a lot of information, you know, just like that. And then, so after that, if you have a, you know, 3 bedroom, 2 baths or something like that, nice square footage, good year, then you have to see in what, you know, what states, you know, the house is, what condition.
Repairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, see what, in your neighborhood, in your, you know, your market, see what the house is, the median prices.
Here's some homework. Here's some homework for everybody. Randomly just start picking addresses on Zillow. And every day you should try to underwrite 5 houses. Just practice. Different areas, different zip codes, different neighborhoods. And if you have partners or you guys are teamed up and you guys are friends in this business, everybody do it the same, right? So the husband and wife team, you guys go 2 separate rooms, 2 separate computers, evaluate the same 5 properties, right? And, or if you don't have a partner, just do that with yourself and get good at it, because you'll start to see that there's only a certain amount of details on a property you're actually looking for. And then you start to compare them, right? You guys ever go somewhere like buy a new computer? Like who's ever been to Apple, the Apple store? Right? So you go in the Apple store and you're going to buy a new Mac. I'm using this analogy because I just bought some. You literally say, I want to compare 3 computers. And they literally put them side by side and they start listing out all the same stuff. And then you start to see the stuff where it changes. What's different? It's the same thing you're doing when you're analyzing the property. Are the bedrooms the same? Are the bathrooms the same? Is the square footage the same? Is it roughly built in the same year? Are they both brick? Are they both siding? Right? Those things matter. And then it's simply just punching the numbers at that point. Who else is stuck on something? Back there, computer, yes sir.
Hi, how you doing? We're not selecting analysis paralysis. My 2 guys have actually been making calls, and we just went on an appointment. The thing we're kind of stuck on is, so we have this property, we agreed at a price point, which is 120, and the ARB, their comps are 171, 181, and those 2 houses sold about, I want to say like 6 months ago, and then we have a recently sold house that was about 4 months ago that sold like right behind it, like not that far from it, for 259, and the house that we're trying to get under contract is bigger in square footage, and it sits on a bigger lot. The thing we're stuck at is that, so we're working with the seller has an attorney who she hired, who I've been in contact with because he wants us to put 500 earnest money down, and so he wants us to set up the contract that if we back out after doing our due diligence, if we back out, we won't get that back. So we don't want to put that down if we can't move the property, but I feel pretty confident that the house, you know, the comps are definitely at 200. The repairs work.
The house behind it, is it the same year?
It's our house is newer as well. So we're estimating that repairs would be 35 to 40, but we definitely think that it'll sell more than 200,000. But we don't want to make that assumption, because I've heard some places where you don't want to like make the assumption that it'll sell more than other houses.
Yeah. So what happened is as when you start this business, you start to want to think things are going to sell higher because it makes you make more money, right? But sometimes it's not true. So currently you don't have the $500 to put down.
Oh, I do, but the thing is, I won't get it back if we can't move the house.
So I do that on every deal. I put down $100.
Yeah, that's what I try to negotiate to the attorney, and I was like, I'm looking to put down 100, and he was like, well, I want you to put down 500, or else I'm going to advise her not to sign the contract. And I sent him the contract today for 500. So I was like, okay, because I think it might be a deal for.
Francis, how much do we usually put down? Like people put $300 on a due diligence?
Wholesale or regular?
Well, we only put down $100 on our wholesale deals. Like retail, $300, right?
Yeah, 300 for due diligence, and then for deposit, it's usually 500.
Yeah. So I mean, if you need the money, you can come see me.
I mean, I have.
Are you confident in yourself?
I am confident. Like I'm ready to take the risk. It's like I know some investors are looking for 70% ARV, sure, but I'm pretty confident that it'll sell for more than 200,000. That's what we're at right now, but I'm pretty sure that
How much money do you stand to make?
at least 5, but most likely 10.
Got it. Listen, if you're in the position and you've been doing deals and 500 is what you need to put down for that, then do it. If not, I'll put it down and we'll work together. Huh? See, I'm ready to bet $500 for 5,000. Are you?
Like the area is like growing. I don't know if you know where Holloway Street is. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
And where at? Greensboro?
It's in Durham.
Durham? Come on, I'll do the deal with you. Come on. I'll do the deal with you. I'll put down all the money. I'll split it with you. I'll sell it for more than you can sell it for. Take my offer? Huh? This is like Shark Tank. It's like, I'm like Kevin O'Leary. This is right now. You gonna take the deal?
If you're willing to work, like if you're being just say yes.
I don't joke around. All right, we'll work together. Yes.
I have a question here, Max, and I'm looking forward to We Live for the first time this year.
Me?
Really looking forward.
Who's coming to We Live? You guys don't probably know what We Live is. I do one yearly event. It's huge. This year it's in Atlanta. We leave in like 10, 12, 15 days or something like that. When I tell you this event is infectious, what you have is you're gonna have 550 people that are in the same mindset as you, hanging out in the hotel for 2.5 days of just hanging around. The hallways are gonna be buzzing. There's gonna be, everybody you see on YouTube is gonna be just standing in the hallway, just giving advice back and forth. It's just gonna be a crazy time. They call it the Grammys of the real estate events. It's fun. But sorry, go ahead. I just took your whole stage.
So just today, well, first, I want to give a shout out to Deal Machine, because I got like 5 leads today off of postcards. So I'm looking for it. I don't know where a buyer will be in Williamston. It's in Eastern North Carolina. But I have several people interested in that. But today, from Deal Machine, this guy inherited a property. His aunt died, and the ARV is $378,000, and he wants to get rid of it, but he just put it under a contract with a realtor. So he was asking me, I said, so we were going to email, he was like, so I just want to know an offer. I said, well, just let you know. He's like, just let you know it's under contract. I said, okay. And I'm thinking, what could I do as an investor at this point in terms of a contract that was signed last week? Someone mentioned maybe you can talk to the realtor, so I want to know your advice about, can I do anything?
So when you say under contract, that means he signed a listing agreement?
Right.
Yeah. Francis is probably better to answer this question. Typically, from my understanding, I haven't been a broker for a while. From my understanding, the broker works for the homeowner. And I believe, it depends, I don't know what the contracts look like now, the listing contracts. Maybe an agent can figure that out, but I know at a certain point of time you can terminate the contract, and I don't remember what reasons for.
Did you already speak with do you have a deal with the seller on price?
No, because I didn't know whether to, for what I told him, whatever the inspection is, tell me what the estimated costs are so that I can incorporate that into my offer. Because I would need to do an inspection or a walkthrough. He already has that set up. He said, okay, great, that's the next step. I'll get that this weekend and I'll send it to you and I'll call you. So I said, okay, great. So once he gives me those numbers, then I'll know what I can offer potentially and go from there. But he seems really interested in working with me. Why, I don't particularly know why. Because he doesn't know what the deal's going to be. He probably wants cash, maybe.
But typically, most people don't want to go through the drawn-out process of dealing with an agent, having people walk through the house, and then somebody going through financing issues, and then financing could still fall through. All deals in North Carolina with financing, that little box is checked at the end that this deal is contingent upon approved financing.
Okay, so is it worth pursuing? Should I talk with your team here about it?
You can't get in any trouble.
Okay.
I mean, you're not a licensed person.
So I can send him an offer and he can...
You can talk to whoever you want to talk to. The thing is, well, what repercussion he has.
Right, so he'll probably still pay the commission.
What I'm thinking is, if you and the seller agree on a number, then you just talk to the agent and say, listen, I'm gonna pay you your commission.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Also, if a seller says they want this house and they agreed on that price, There's nothing the agent can do. They have a fiduciary responsibility to the homeowner, not to their bank account, right? So so if the seller says, hey, I want to sell to this person, as long as the agent's still going to get their commission, it doesn't matter. And at that point, you only have to pay half of the commission and not the whole percentage, because you're not a broker, so you don't get the other half.
Another option that you can do is terminate the contract would be cheaper, because a lot of agents, some agents would put like, if you terminate the contract, it's a $600 fee, that's a lot less than.
Oh, so yeah, okay, that's what I didn't know. So
Some of them don't have that. Some of them it's, if you terminate the contract, it's for us, whatever. You know what I mean?
So you're saying in most listing agreements, there's a termination clause?
Right.
So it's either terminate or $600 or something?
You can terminate, but this is gonna be your fee.
Oh, so
Some of them don't even have that. The newer agents, they don't know, so they don't even, it's, okay, you wanna leave. He could even, I mean, you don't wanna lie, but he can say, I changed your mind, I'm gonna keep my property.
Right.
or just pay the $600.
Or just make
Yeah, it
$600.
sounds like that's a better deal, depending on the percentage on that higher property price, probably a lot more than.
At least 2.5% of the sale price.
Thank you.
We'll get right here. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me, do you have a driving for dollar strategy? Because I remember watching your YouTube video one time and you were like, I don't just go out and drive aimlessly. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
So what I typically like to do, I used to spend a lot of time in the car. Typically what I do is I go find the hottest zip codes in the area of the city that I want to do, right? So I have a video on how to find the hottest zip codes. And what I start to do is I drive in those zip codes. Now, as you get more advanced, which I wouldn't recommend this strategy right now, is we start to plot out properties on Google Maps and drive to them. That makes sense? But we're still driving for dollars at the same time. So if I have a list of absentee owners, or I have a list of vacant properties, I plot those on a Google map, and I'm gonna be driving from distance to distance, and I'm driving for dollars at the same time, but I have a destination that I'm going to each time.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Do you know anything about the Charlotte market? Because I feel like I go to people's houses and they have like a jungle in front of their house, and I'll call them and they'll just be like, oh, it's not for sale. And it just, I mean, back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. What you have to understand, like I said in the beginning, is we're not finding houses, we're finding problems. And just because of junky front yard, jungle is, just because a jungle is a problem to you necessarily doesn't mean it's a problem. I like jungles. No, I'm joking, I don't. But that's what the homeowner's probably thinking, right? But another way, if you want to do that, is if that jungle is illegal and it has code violations, then find a code violation list. But you can never convince, you're never supposed to be convincing a seller to sell their home.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to be helping them out because they're in a situation that they want to sell. And then it just comes down to negotiating the deal. We had, yes, sir.
So I got a question just about the Winston market. I'm pretty new here, but I had some money to invest, so I did some direct mail. I did a blind offer campaign. And so pricing that was like a different question, but so I have a contract on South Main Street at 28, and I think the ARV is around 75 to 85.
South Main Street.
South Main Street, 270.
Don't we have a house on South Main Street?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And so I think the ARV is around 75, 85. It probably needs about $20 a square foot in rehab.
Are you a contractor?
No,
Okay.
I visited the property.
I'm just asking the way you spoke,
Okay,
that's all.
No. And so he told me that.
Okay.
So my question is, I put some marketing together with a ton of pictures. It's got a new roof in 2010, furnace 2010, HVAC 2018, bathroom 2018, new appliances. So I thought it was going to be a screaming deal, but I put it up there on connected investors. I had some marketing put together for it, and it just sat there for about a week. I had some people kind of tire kicking at it. Until I got connected with a guy here in Winston who's a home investors guy to JV it, and he thinks we can, get 40 out of it. I'm just wondering, when I put marketing out there, when you're looking at an ARV around 75 and, you get it under contract, and you have this margin, are investors at that price point looking for, a much deeper discount than if you had a property that the ARV is around 150?
Did you still follow the 70% rule on that? So what did you get it on a contract for?
28.
And you should be able to move that.
That's what I thought. And
You don't have the right buyers. And
I don't have buyers. And so,
Yeah.
like what you said and what everyone says is, get the deal, focus on the deal.
I can sell that right now on a text message.
I know, I believe it too. And I believe that this guy I'm gonna work with, who I'm gonna JV it with, he has
I'll buy it from you. How much you want for it?
I was gonna sell it. I was hoping to sell it for, well, at first I put it up for 45. I was like, that's high, right?
Yeah.
But then I put it down to 40 and then 36, and still no one was really like biting at it. And so.
Did you sign the JV contract? It doesn't matter. The JV contract.
I didn't sign anything.
I'll buy it from you. Just give it to Shannon. I'll buy it from you. I'll buy it from you at 30. Yeah, seriously, I'll buy it from you. I'm not bullshitting.
But here's the thing. So there are tenants.
I know you have a whole nother problem. I know you have a no. I know you.
One thing, there are tenants in place. I didn't want a bunch of people, like not you, but these other people that have reached out. I don't want to walk them through the house.
Yeah. So here's your thing. So now you're starting to get a little deep. You have tenants in place. When's the contract? When their lease expires?
Month to month.
Oh, so they can go anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
That's a contingency on our contract. They have to vacate.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter.
They've been under market rent for like 15 years.
Yeah. What is it renting for currently?
$6.25 since 07.
Yeah, I'll buy it. But the problem is that you need to. A lot of people. First of all, finding buyers is the hardest part.
Like legitimate buyers.
Legitimate buyers.
I don't want to mess with someone who's just going to.
I know the Triad. I know Raleigh. I know Charlotte. I can hit one of my Hispanic buyers, and that thing is bought tomorrow cash.
A Hispanic realtor wants to show it. That's who the home investors guy I have a relationship with wanted to, connect me with.
Yeah.
So you got a Hispanic buyer probably.
You have to beat the streets, man. As much, huh?
If you came to the RIA, you'd have gotten it.
Yeah.
I went to the RIA this past week, and I contacted everyone whose card I got. So no one's being responsive on it.
Yeah, I love doing deals like these because when I first started, I put out deals like these. I was like, this is a slam dunk. It makes no sense. And then I would find a guy who would buy it. He would do the flip or do the buy and hold. And then I would send out a re-email and say, oops, you missed it. And put what actually happened with the deal. Right? Sold for this, rehab for this, went to retail for this, profit this. Oops, you missed it. Right? And they'll go check. These guys that check that email, they'll go to the MLS or they'll go to the thing, Zillow, and say, oh crap, it did sell for that.
Yeah, I'm checking that stuff too. Like on Thompson, when I'm looking at, I just love looking at what other wholesalers, what their end buyer did to it. Just, I definitely want to put some of that together, in the future once I start doing deals. But hopefully this will be the first.
How did your connected investors go? Nothing, huh?
What was that?
When you put it on connected investors?
I got some people just messaging me and reaching out, but no one.
What we do in our company is we'll buy it, we'll rehab it, we'll put a tenant in it, and then I'll call somebody from California to give me $75,000 for it. Right? Because the turnkey, they can't even buy driveways for $75,000 in Southern California.
Yeah.
Right? So you just got to know how to dispose of a deal, who to talk to. You need to spend a lot of time. As much attention as people put into actually acquiring a deal, I put as much attention as to talking and finding the right buyers.
Yeah.
Even more, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'd rather have, like you were saying, 10 really strong buyers that I know, like I don't need to worry about them just targeting.
I may have a solution for you at the end. We'll talk about it. Who else has got some questions? Let's go to my young man right there. Yes, sir. Stand up for me and say it with your chest. Say it again.
Okay, I want to start cold calling with my mom, but what do you think the buyer would think since I'm only 11?
That's intriguing. I don't know. What did you think? What do you guys think?
I think it'll work.
Go for it.
I think it'll work. They just be like, yeah, you can't take care of these surprises.
I got a story for you. So all you got to do is say, hey, I think it might actually work. Say, my mom gave me some money and said I need to buy a rental property.
Oh, yeah.
And I am calling to see if you're interested in selling your property. I know I'm only 11. I know I'm only 11, but my mom says I need to find a rental property before my 12th birthday. Or I'm not going to get anything for Christmas this year. See if it works. Report back. I'd love to find out what happened. That's interesting. Who's next? Yes, ma'am.
I have a probate question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I've been skip tracing for a long time, not realizing I wasn't until I started watching your videos.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a property to purchase or rent out for me and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I even went down to found somebody in Germany who owned property and talked to her, blah, blah, blah. That didn't work out, but still, I was skip tracing.
Absolutely.
So I found a property that a realtor showed me, but her friend is an investor who had the property, supposedly. I kind of got lost in the translation of that.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, it didn't work out, meaning they said that whoever was supposed to be over the property, they're questioning their ability to be over the yada yada. So I said, forget y'all, started doing my own skip tracing. So I did that, found the person, cold called. There's two next of kin. One they think is walking the streets on drugs or something.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even care, doesn't want the house or anything like that. I talked to him, but he said for some reason he's the only other living relative, but some kind of way they're saying that the deed it's caught up to who the deed is deeded to. But when I checked the records, it's deeded to the people that passed away. It's been empty since like 2014.
Okay.
So what do I do next?
So the person that you talked to in New Hampshire, say, hey, look, I would love to buy your interest in the property. I've done this before. It took me a year, but it was a slam. I made 75 grand on that deal. Buy their interest in that property for whatever he does. But that person has to start the filing process of the probate. And if they can't find any next of kin and they market it for 90 days, it's over. He owns the house.
So
But
he was saying that for some reason, the deed is, I don't know. I looked it up and it's deeded to the people that
passed away.
passed away.
Is there a mortgage on it?
No. Not that I've found.
You know,
Yeah.
you can find them, put a for sale by owner sign and put your phone number in the for sale by owner place, someone will call you. Because someone in that neighborhood knows what's going on with that house. If you put a for sale by owner in the front yard, they're gonna call you. You're gonna get a call in 2 days, I promise you.
You get a lot of calls too. Not all of them be the right calls. But that's an interesting situation. I have an attorney that works for us in our office. If you want to give Shannon that one, I don't know if I have an answer top, but maybe work with her and see if we can figure out like the title issue. Because if it's deeded correctly, the people have passed away, they just need to file, to start the probate process. But you have to do the work, legwork for the person in New Hampshire. And that can be simply, you can buy their share of the house for $2,500 now, right? Say, look, I give you $2,500, can you start filling out some paperwork for me?
And I want the property for myself though.
You should.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
If someone's cutting the grass, someone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Put a for sale by owner.
Somebody will call you. She's right. Any other questions? Oh, we got a lot. I'll go right here, then back and back, right? So yes, sir.
So if someone dies intestate without a will, and the next of kin lives like in another state or something like that, so you just have to get them to sign the paperwork.
Yeah, there's a probate process that has to happen, and they need to file that and start that probate process so that you can go through it. Typically, it's you literally put out a notice to creditors. That takes 90 days. There's some other paperwork and all this stuff, but then eventually if nobody can test that this person is the next of kin, which they're gonna sign an affidavit of heirship, then it's done. They own that property.
All right. I came across a situation where I couldn't find the next of kin. I admit I didn't do the skip track. I tried to do whatever I could. I went to Spokio.
Okay.
Try to find white pages to try to find them. And the next of kin, his brother had died, and he was dead himself. So obviously, he was ended up being a probate situation. But I couldn't find any next of kin, no matter what. What do you do in a case like that?
You can't do anything. That property goes to the state eventually. Eventually, to get behind on taxes far enough. To where, now the only other thing you can do, which takes 12 years in North Carolina, is adverse possession.
Was it 12 or 7? I thought it was 7.
Could be 7 or 12. It's one of those. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But adverse possession is where you pay the taxes, and you do the paperwork required, and you can claim the property is yours. Takes a while, but you can do it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then we had a question there. Yes, sir.
So my question is, you talk about wholesaling and everything, so that's kind of one recipe. So say you run across properties that they just don't have the equity in, like how many other avenues could you look at? Because I've heard Tony talk, like what Tony says, the guy over, he says you don't necessarily want to own it, you want to control it.
Mm-hmm.
So how many other, like, okay, if you run across a property where it's probably, I know when I do start this, it's going to be easy for me to find people that want to sell. But of course, is it worthwhile me showing up and the guy's like, well, I'll take $300,000 for my house. And I'm like, well, it's worth $250,000.
I'm not going to answer that question for you until you go out and get a deal. Because here you are, I'm trying to give you the gateway drug and you're trying to go all the way to the designer drugs. Like you need to smoke this weed right here. Because this is the gateway drug. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm starting to see where your mind is. Why is that even a question that your mind is bringing up?
Well, my preacher told me one time, he says, it's like a dog chasing a car. Even if he caught one, he wouldn't know what to do with it. So I'm just trying to learn, like, okay, I'm a dog chasing a car. If I do catch a car one day, what would I do with it?
You're going to wholesale it. That's what you're going to do. And when you wholesale it, come back and ask me the same question.
All right, can I have your personal cell phone so if I run across that?
No. No, but I'm going to give you another better option.
I got something to give you tonight, but I've changed my mind.
I'll give you a better option.
What's that?
I won't tell you now, but I'll give you a better option. Next. Yes, sir.
I'm at a stage now where I'm evaluating properties. Fortunately, I was in a situation where I was executed of a state, so this is how I found out wholesaling when I see.
So you were an executor of a estate.
Yeah.
So somebody had passed away, and you were the one in charge of the estate. Probate.
Probate.
And you went through the whole probate process.
Whole process.
Man, that's a on-the-job training.
Yeah, so that's how I really.
Unfortunately, but on-the-job training.
Yeah. So the house that was left to me, I'm actually keeping it, but.
Smart decision.
It's in a neighborhood or whatnot that, actually I'm from Winston-Salem.
Okay.
And it's a neighborhood, it's pretty bad. But I've seen that there are vacant lots around my area, and my thing is, right now, I just want to focus on that market.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's hard to rehab those properties and flip them in that type of market. So it'd be a buy and hold. But it's hard to find buyers that, I guess, you sell in appreciation more so, because in this particular area, it's opportunity zone, because I follow the city, Winston-Salem,
Yeah.
and I know that, things are changing in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question would be advice of how to sell in opportunity zones, or how to sign contracts to buyers that want to buy and hold for appreciation.
So one, the opportunity zone thing is not going to really matter right now. I'm going to tell you because the IRS and the government haven't really got their crap together, and it's real difficult. Most people need to have a fund to do that. They only can disperse capital gain. It's so many rules, right? So that won't really work right now. It's a bust. It sounded good, but it's a bust right now. You need to find buy and hold buyers. What I've found in the more lower income neighborhoods is that the Hispanic buyers are just buying them up and then renting them out themselves. Right? But keep the house you got and wait 20 years. You'll be all right. But you go out and find the right buyers. Because there's a lot of rental properties already there. Find out who own those rental properties and go from there. I'm going to go over one and then to you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I actually work in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, a lady that stayed beside my mom, she came to the hospital, and I knew her father. her father passed away. And, you know, we were just talking, and she was saying she's tired of paying property tax on the house. And I asked her, I said, well, would you be willing to sell the house? She actually said she would sell the house. I guess my question is trying to find somebody to buy the house. It's my frustration. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that the question is, I guess, how do I go about finding somebody that will buy that particular house?
Is it just in a bad area or something?
It's not really in a bad area. It's in an older neighborhood, and it's a few houses in that neighborhood that I know I could get in contact with some of the people because I've stayed over there, well, my mother stayed in the area for a long time. So,
What's the ARV on the property?
I'm not sure because
50, 60, 100?
I think it'll be about 7.
Got it. And she said she would sell it to you for a certain price already?
She said that she would sell it to me. She said she was willing to sell it, but she sort of has like a sentimental value with it.
Yeah.
And like to her, it's like I just don't want to put anybody, you know, because my dad lived there. He actually passed away in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
And does she live there or no?
she doesn't live there.
So here's what you do. All you do is keep following up with her once every couple weeks, every few weeks. Just check, see how she's doing. See how her most recent doctor visit was. Something. Find something in common that you can speak to her with. Eventually, she'll start losing that sentimental value. The taxes will become more of a burden, and she'll be willing to sell. Just get it. If you're thinking the ARV is X, which I told you guys to go out and try to find the ARV, go out and do that practice in that whole neighborhood, and then just do your numbers, right? And tell her, hey, look, this is what I'm going to be able to pay. And it just is what it is. Yeah.
Appreciate it. So, I've noticed that in that type of neighborhood too, that like a 70% rule you might have to go above 70%. I find myself doing that too.
Like less.
Like more like 80%, 85%.
It's going to be hard to move properties like that around here. Why do you think that? Because the seller's not willing to sell that?
Well, where I was coming up with it when I was doing 70% roof on one of the houses, I got to a point where it was so low that I knew it wouldn't have been a win-win situation for someone.
Did you offer it?
Well, I threw it out there and I never got it.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, you can't change your numbers because somebody's not willing to. Remember, there's a box that it has to fit in. If it doesn't fit in there, you can't try to force it in there. It just is what it is. But keep them following up because reality will hit them and they say, you know what? Like, Shannon, do you sell a lot of deals? You buy a lot of deals where the first offer is just like they're not having it?
Yeah, you have to follow up for sure, always.
All the time. The people say, oh, I don't want to take that low of an offer. Great. I mean, it's fine. I can't buy every house I call.
Then they call you back.
Mm-hmm. Then reality hits when somebody starts offering lower and all that stuff. So, right here. Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, I'm here because this is my daughter and this is what she wanted to do. But we have a person that her house she's 78,000 mortgage. She hasn't paid her rent like 3 months. Even ugly houses didn't want to buy her house.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do and she's a motivated, she just needs to get out, just to move.
How much, what is it worth?
70, it's not even.
So she's upside down.
She upside down.
I told them to ask my question.
Flip side out.
Yeah.
Ugly houses doesn't even work.
Yeah, it's called, you gotta have to do what they call a short sale. If you go to the ssqueen.com, I think the ssqueen.com. Her name is Nicole Espinoza. She was on one of my podcasts. She's a friend of mine. She actually be at We Live as well. She's a short sale queen. She does them all over the country. And all you have to do is kind of give an offer. Did Francis break something?
Yes.
It's common. You're welcome. I had some right here. Yes, ma'am.
But as far as like, I guess you go out to see the house and
Yeah, that's a good question. So once she identifies a property, she knows what the ARV potentially could be, but she doesn't have a construction background. She doesn't know how to price cabinets out and bathrooms out. Typically what you want to do is, and I don't have a construction background either, if you can and you do have the luxury that everybody usually knows somebody that's a handyman that can price something. And it's okay to say, hey, I'm gonna come on that appointment. I'm also gonna bring my contractor with me so he can give me a price on what needs to be repaired. And it also adds some validity to what you're doing. Like somebody's like, oh, you got a repair guy with me. And I'll have them start working through the numbers with you on why they decided that a bathroom would cost, $8,000 to repair. Kind of get that. So you're in a teachable moment while you're in the house with this contractor. If you have the luxury of paying somebody $100 to come with you, that is a contractor, pay it. Have them write up an estimate so you can kind of see what it looks like and how you should go through each house. And once you start doing it for a while, and you can go into houses that are like for sale by owner if you just want to practice. Right? And then what you'll realize is that oh, this kitchen, this is about $15,000. Bathroom, about $8,000. And you'll keep going and you're gonna get this number and you're gonna realize that most of these houses that are around the same square footage are usually around the same type of fixing. Right? Because you wanna do a standard type of update. That's what Francis and I do. We always update our houses to a certain standard. So we know what those things cost. But what it cost us and what we're gonna tell the homeowner is different, right? Because just because I'm a volume buyer and I have volume contractors, I'm going to pay less than most people are paying. It's just kind of the way it works. But see if you can find somebody to come along with you for a deal or two. If you can pay somebody $50, $100 to come with you to kind of learn the ropes on what the construction side is, then you'll be fine after a while. There's nothing I can give you online that's just going to teach you how to go in there and price, toilets and stuff like that. It just takes time. But don't get caught up on that number either. That's where a lot of people get caught up and they offer low, like, first of all, there's no such thing as a $5,000 rehab. There's really no such thing as a $10,000 rehab. So that's out of the window. You can spend that painting. So don't ever fall into that trap. Yes, sir.
All right, so I was talking to a guy.
You from Raleigh, Durham?
Say again?
You from Raleigh or Durham?
No.
Where you from?
I'm from Baltimore, but I live in Greensboro.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I look like somebody.
Yeah, you look like somebody. Yeah, you look like somebody.
So I had a guy that I was talking to, and he had a property that he was trying to get rid of. He said it was vacant, but when I told him I was trying to set up an appointment, and he was basically like, you can go look at it, but number one, I'm not coming. And number two, there may or may not be squatters, so enter at your own risk. So, yeah, that's what I'm like.
In Winston-Salem?
No, this was actually like, cause I've been working in this area as well, like Burlington and Greensboro, and then I go to Baltimore a lot.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So if y'all know anything about Baltimore, like.
You probably got squatters in there.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I was gonna go, you know what I mean? But my thing is, even if I go and like, let's say it is something that I'm interested in making an offer or whatever, like, how do you, is there a way to go, like, if there's squatters, is there a way to go about like getting them out of there, or is that something that would just be a waste of time to even go?
Yeah, you can get squatters out. Literally, just the police comes and gets them out. Like literally, and usually there's no paperwork or nothing. They're just trespassing. Yeah. But make that part of your discount. Like I'll put the house under contract. I'll buy it from you, even with the squatters in it, but I'm gonna need a great price. Because clearly he thinks that removing squatters is a difficult thing, and it's really not.
Yeah, he was just kind of like, didn't want nothing to do with it at all. That's why I know he'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
Probably easily. But he's like, enter at your own risk. I'm like, what are they? He'll have eyes.
They might.
You know what I mean? But, all right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I see squatters go out on handcuffs all the time. Yeah. Yes, sir, in the back.
So I noticed everybody, and I've been using this source
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of seeing that's maybe outdated, or that's something still could be,
Yeah, North Carolina, we are a attorney state, and attorneys won't give you any information because they have a client client attorney privilege. In attorney states, you can find lists and stuff like that, but North Carolina, we don't have title companies. You're saying one method of marketing is becoming crowded? Is that what you're saying?
everyone I talk to, they're all using like this source and like going to the courthouse and foreclose and things like that, so I'm just trying to find another lane and kind of open up.
Yeah, you know, I used to think like that too. Like, trust me, when I started wholesaling, wasn't nobody wholesaling. Like, this is crazy for me to be giving this information away in my backyard. Like, absolutely crazy. But the reality is, I've never ran into any of y'all at a title company. We've never went back to back on appointments on houses. There's literally so many problems in this world. You can't solve them all. So because the reality is, we only need a couple deals a month. You know, so you're just trying to, out of thousands, tens of thousands of problems, you're just trying to solve 2, right? So foreclosures, I'm telling you right now, until foreclosures stop, there's still problems. And every week they're doing foreclosures at the courthouse. So until that dries up, there's still problems to be fixed. All types of things. What's up, Yusuf?
Hey, what's going on, man? So we're about to put a property under contract in Mississippi.
Okay, what part?
I can't remember.
Jacksonville, Hattiesburg.
No, it starts with a C.
Got me on that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's way out there, but it's a friend of mine sent me the deal. But so I looked in PropStream, couldn't find the mortgage information. I looked in REI Pro, I could tell where the mortgage originated. So I did send over a release of authorization form to get the information from the bank. Do you have like an easier way to look at the mortgage?
Is it contingent upon you making an offer, or is this a sub-2 you're working or something?
I just kind of want to know because they just want to pay off for the property, so I want to just kind of put
Does the home have you made an offer on it or?
No, I haven't made it because it's going to be contingent upon the payoff for the loan.
So here's what you do: make the offer if it had a loan or not.
Okay.
Make the offer and then have them send off for a payoff request. And if so, for example, if there's a $60,000 mortgage and you've offered 50, right? And obviously that's not going to work. Then the seller's going to back out, and you're going to let them. This is kind of what happens, unless they're willing to bring $10,000 to the closing table. You see what I mean? So don't let that hold you up from making the offer. Make the offer, put it under contract, and go get the release. But is the person passed away, or they just don't know what they're?
Yeah, well, so the son passed away, and the mom has been paying the mortgage. She's tired of paying it.
How's she been paying it?
She's paying it out of pocket. He was a veteran, so he was getting
Assistance and all that stuff, yeah.
he was getting the money, and then he got sick, and then
She should have an online statement, a login, or something.
I think so, yeah, but she doesn't know what the payoff is right now.
Just call, tell her that you didn't call.
Yeah, so I got to release the authorization so I can verify. So she doesn't know the numbers exactly.
Have a call right in front of you. My deal is I make a call right in front of you so I know exactly.
Yeah. Let's do it on 3-way right now. Because here's what happened. What happens is she's probably not going to get that information because that mortgage was in her son's name. So if she is actually,
She's a POA though.
so she's going to have to submit the POA. They're going to have to verify that. Literally, if she is paying the mortgage, she's getting some type of statement. And literally, there's just a statement there. You know, whether she's paying it online or she's sending a check, there's a statement attached to that. Yeah. How old is she? Okay, yeah. So there's a little problem there, but you can figure it out. But we solve problems and make money. So, who else has got a question? We'll go right here. I haven't heard from this gentleman. Then I go to you, Anna. You sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's not really a question, but for all the wholesalers in here, I am looking to purchase a mobile home park with at least 50 pads or more. So if anyone comes across any of those mobile home parks, please let me know.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure.
Yeah, it was on 311, they had 23 slots in there for 150K.
And nobody called me?
I don't think so. It's right up the block from me.
I thought y'all was friends.
I mean, it's a lot, but
So my guy right there, make sure y'all get his information. You run across any mobile home parks.
what's that county?
Yeah, Forsyth County is real tough. Real tough.
Sorry, I got plenty of stuff in Surrey, come see me.
Who else has a question? We have, Anna, sorry.
Okay, so I found a property last week, got it for $, and I looked at the owner, right? So he is currently in the hospital in Fayetteville. He's been there for a whole year. The property, it is hot. It's a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath, full basement. It's a brick home, and the thing is, I know I cannot make an offer without seeing the property, of course. But he doesn't have a way to come here, so he was like, well, make arrangement for somebody to come and get me.
You can make an offer without seeing it. Make a no offer, see price. I do it all the time. Don't we I say, listen, I don't have, listen, we can skip the whole appointment and I can make you an offer like this. I don't care what the inside look like at that point, the number I'm gonna give you.
Okay, so the ARV is 152.
Perfect ARV.
He owed $9,000.
90,000? 90? I got real excited when she said, it's still doable.
It's commercial and residential. It's on a corner. Nice area too.
What does he want? You had conversations with him? Like, what does he want from the property?
He's a little delusional.
He might, is he capable of selling? Are you wasting your time? He's like capable mental capacity? Okay.
He used to be a realtor and a broker.
So he's stubborn. So I would start off and say, oh man, you owe 90?
84 years old.
That's how I would have that conversation. Oh, you owe 90? I don't know if this deal's gonna work for me.
No, he doesn't know that I know he owes 90. I asked him, there's a mortgage, do you have a mortgage? He said, yeah, but I'm not gonna tell you. So I found out how much he owes, but, I guess he can tell me.
Does he want to sell?
Yeah, he wants to sell. He has no family here, kids, money, South Carolina.
Just keep calling him. He needs somebody to talk to. Eventually, you're gonna become friends and he's gonna give you the house. He might just write in his will to you. You keep calling him long enough. There is hope, yeah. There's room in there. A house is 152.
What year is the house? Yeah, that's very important because if it's, 80 on you, or it's easier to just go with cosmetics, and then, then you have room. If you have to do a full rehab, then, it's tight.
Yeah, it's real tight.
So I can't make an offer without seeing.
Yeah, but you have to know what the year of the house is.
You can always make an offer, but just make sure your price reflects that you haven't seen it. Do you know OfferPad and all those guys make offers without seeing it, contingent upon inspection? Then they go to the house and they do an inspection and say, oh, you said it was only $20,000 worth of work, but we get here and it's 40. So I got to reduce my offer by $20,000. They all do that.
I actually have something shameless. I've been sent here by the REA board to ask you if you would come and support, we're doing Deal Machine in March, and we know that you use it pretty frequently.
Lego's coming here? Dave?
He's actually coming for the February Lunch and Learns. We have one at BJ's in
What day is it?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
What day you guys want me there?
They're coming the second Tuesday in Greensboro, second Thursday in Winston.
So what day do you guys want me to be there?
It's, what's the second, like the 6th, I think, or the 8th and the 10th?
Can you see if I'm available, Eddie, for that? And then we'll find out tomorrow? No, March. You said March?
No, February. So March, we're gonna, if we get enough turnout, because we're expecting.
Oh, February, I'll be turning up in Atlanta, March 6th.
February.
March 6th,
February 6th, sorry. February, like in a couple weeks, I'll be in Atlanta for the We Live event. 6th, 7th, and 8th, I'm busy. Get with, that's my executive assistant, Eddie, right there.
It's the 11th and the 13th.
Of February? Talk with Eddie, get his information. He's a direct contact with me, and he'll tell you if I'm available or not.
Okay, so they put me up to do that.
Okay, they sent you. It's cool.
And can I just say one other thing?
Yes.
If there's anybody here in the Triad area, or even if we have women that come from Raleigh and Durham, I run the Triad Wire, where women in real estate, we meet the last Tuesday of the month in Greensboro at the Golden Corral on Landview, which is right off Wendover. We also just started a new subgroup up in Surrey County because it's kind of popping, we're saturated here.
Mount Airy is hot right now.
What?
Yeah, I seen it on a list, a national list.
Yeah, in September, no, in December, we literally had this property on the list for 4 days. We got an at offer. We walked away with $19,000 on wholesale deal.
Mount Airy is on the top. Remember we talked about that? Mount Airy is on the top. For somehow, I don't know why, but Mount Airy is on, I mean, it's beautiful.
Well, it's a bedroom community, right?
Yeah.
So just like in New York, if you live on Long Island and you want to work in the city, you'll live on Long Island because you want kind of the country feel, but you travel to the city. Same thing with
She said New York.
It's 30 miles for you to drive from Mount Airy to get to Winston for a job.
Yeah,
You
that-
don't want to go to Greensboro, but I mean, if you had a job in Winston where there's a lot of,
It's not terrible, yeah.
So it's a bedroom community. It's very appealing because the houses, I mean, we put a brick house on 3 properties. We got under contract for $40,000 and we wholesaled that deal for 60 grand. And the one property was worth 115, and then the 2 other properties had other potential. So, I mean, it was a great deal for the buyer.
Mount Airy's getting hot. Well, get with Eddie. He'll know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Who else? What time is it? Huh? Okay, we're gonna wrap up here soon. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, since we're talking about Mount Airy, I went to see a home in Mount Airy, like 1,000 square feet, but the gentleman and his family still live in the home. He was like, yeah, I'll sell it for the right price.
Oh, I hate that.
I think he said he paid $70,000 for it, and then he knocked down several walls, so it kind of looks like a construction zone in the basement. And he wants $70,000 for it. I haven't called him back, but the property is hot. Like, should I call him back?
It depends what part of Mount Airy, obviously, too.
Right, because there's a meth problem.
There's a meth problem in Mount Airy, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions. One is simple. So I love Mojo Dollar.
Okay.
However, I was recently introduced to how REI Pro works. REI Rail, that system and software. I like the information that it provides, how it's just right there, mortgage and all that. Mojo Dollar doesn't do that. However, Mojo Dollar does 3 lines at a time.
Yeah, 2 different tools.
Is there anything that integrates the two somehow? Like that has that much information that's REI Rail, but does what Mojo does?
So we invented the technology. I own REI Rail. We invented the technology inside of REI Rail. It's patent technology. So there's nothing else that does that, but we are working on a dialer to be, so you can have that same information. So we're releasing text messaging at the end of this month, and then our dialer should be out soon.
Nice, okay. The second question was a tax question. So, as I told you, I had these wholesale deals before I was even ready to handle them. So no, I did not have an LLC, I didn't have anything.
You don't have to.
So
But you need one now.
I need it. So the income was to my name, but how do I claim that income?
It's just income. The attorney's going to give you a 1099. When you gave them your social security number at the closing?
I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You were just so excited that you're getting the checks you forgot. But every attorney has to report the income. So you essentially can go call that attorney and he can give you the record. But you should have you should have income statement from them.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do 2 more questions. Where we at? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My first one is a quick one, which is
when I be on the real estate groups,
Mhm.
and I see people post checks, and if I see something in Winston-Salem, like a title company around the area, I take a picture of it just in case I get a deal, and I call that title company, I can still use that, right? Or is it wrong?
Well, we don't have, we don't have title companies, we have attorneys. But you're saying,
The attorneys, like when I see the attorneys' titles, like,
yeah,
I take a picture of that.
yeah, call
It
them.
might come in handy, like.
Of course.
I could do that.
They're open for business, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, my other question is, my ex-husband's father got a house near Piedmont Circle,
Okay.
and he want like $52,000 for it because he paid $52,000 for it. But I know for a fact it ain't worth no $52,000. I know, and then he's like a handyman, and he always claim, yo, like he said to me the other day, oh, I fixed it up.
Yo, you hilarious, yo. You chill.
He's like, I fixed it up. You know, I do great things, but I know his fix it up. That means he's gonna sit in the back, smoke a joint, come hit the hammer, come in the top,
Yeah.
and call it something. And I know it's like, it's next to Piedmont Circle. It's next
Yeah.
to 52. The only 52 he gonna see is the highway. And I'm trying to explain that to him. And I'm trying to tell him.
Yo, you crazy. You're just gonna have to let that one go. Yeah, you know, some people get attached to their property and you can never get them away from it.
I'm just trying to
Just keep follow up with them.
Okay, because I'm trying to help him get out of it, like, but I know for a fact he ain't tell me that he owed like $35,000.
That's why you want 52.
That's why he wants the 52, but it's
It ain't worth it. Ain't nothing you can do with it. It is what it is. We have one more? Yes, sir.
Jay Smith out of Greensboro. Quick question. So I started my first postcard campaign last month. I'm looking to get a few deals going, so I need to talk to you about that. And then also, what's the best place to go to get a assignment contract? Because I went online. I don't know if the jargon is... TheRealMaxwell.com/contracts. I got my purchase contract and my assignment contract up there for free. TheRealMaxwell.com/contracts. Yeah, it's for free. One more, I'll do one more question. Yes.
Can I come work for you? Yeah. I just quit my job at the post office. I know the area very well.
Yeah. That's a good segue. Let me answer that question. So a lot of you guys are new. My team and I have been working on this new space. So we got 8,000 square feet in the Winston Tower, and we've been building it out for the last couple months. Cost us $152,000. So essentially, how many of you guys have been to a WeWork? Know what a WeWork is? Right, so essentially, we built a beautiful office. We can hold 80-something people in there. We have 80-something desks. We have phone booths you can walk into and have private conversations. We have Wi-Fi. We have printers. We have our own attorney on staff that closes all our deals. We have an in-house realtor. We have a team that will help you assist and get your deals. And you can come and go out of the office as you please all the time. So I've never really talked about what I was doing when I was building this, but that was my vision. That if we can all be in the same office and collaborate on deals, help each other out, then everybody would be better off. So with that, in order to help you guys, was like, hey, I need to go out and find buyers. We went out and we raised $30 million to buy a portfolio of properties, a lot of them, through the entire state. So I think, one, I'm buying a lot of properties, so if you have them. But the one way that this company that we built is called Venture Atlas. And it's a collaborative space that we can all work through. Now everybody, I've had problems finding attorneys. I've been through 4 of them already. So we went out and bought one. So we have an attorney that works in our office that closes all of our deals and all of your deals. Last year I bought a data company for around $1 million, and we have the buyer profiles of 142 million people in America. So we know who all the buyers are across the country. I know who has money, who doesn't, who have accounts at Merrill Lynch, whatever. So what we can do is we can help you always sell your deals. I can buy your deals from you. and you have everything you need at this new Venture Atlas. Now, if you're interested in being a part of Venture Atlas, write this address down. It's joinventureatlas.com. I think it's like 6 or 7 questions. Shannon and my brother will be, now here's the process. Obviously, everybody is not going to be entered into Venture Atlas, right? And the reason that is because you guys are going to actually be working in the same office as me. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm a workaholic. So I work hard. So if you're not a hard-working person that can just grind all day long, because you'll see me in my office with my head down, and so with the rest of my team, it's like an exclusive club. You know, it doesn't, I'm not here to, we don't charge you money to do anything. Now there is a small desk fee under $50 a month, but that's just so that people know that you have your own business and you don't work for me, right? It's just a legal thing. You guys wouldn't work for me at all. We would have weekly, monthly, bi-weekly workshops at our office, if you're a member. And you know how I have friends from all over the country that come and visit me randomly. You know, we'll have Deal Machine come, we'll have, you know, Antoine come, we'll have all these people that come to the office and just give out free game. Now the idea is that you can build your own company within the walls of what Venture Atlas is. And if we can negotiate and work out a deal together, then we'll do it. One, I'll either buy it or I help you sell it. Usually for a lot faster, a lot more money than you can sell it for yourself. So we want to empower you to go out there and run your own business, have your own LLC. Obviously, I own software and tools, so I will help you with discounts on those things so you can go out and do it. But the goal is that from one central office, we can run the entire state of North Carolina, right? We should be able to empower each other. I promise you there's enough money in here that if all of y'all had an office there, we wouldn't even run into each other. So that was my vision probably like 5-6 months ago, and it's finally came true. We were getting our keys Monday to the office. The fire inspector just did all that. So go to Join Venture Atlas, fill out the form. I would love to see you guys every day. Now keep in mind, if y'all see me in the hallways, I'm working. I got deals to close too, right? But we do have a beautiful staff that's there to help you guys. If you have an appointment on a house and you're not sure what you should get it for, you go talk to Shannon, knock on her office. Hey Shannon, I got an appointment here at 3 o'clock. You know, what should I get this under contract for? She'll tell you. And not only that, she'll tell you exactly what we will buy it for or what we probably can sell it for you for. So now you're walking into that appointment with those, you know, those buyers you talk about you needed. You'll have confidence in yourself going in that property knowing what you can get it for. And for a deal that you're going to make, what's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, for a deal where you're going to make potentially what, 15,000? 10, 15,000. I can probably sell it and make 20, and probably half the time you can sell it yourself. Right? So it just gives you the confidence. So if you're interested in doing that, I would love to work with you guys. I think it's something that's never been done. You guys know I'm always about disrupting and innovating a market. Is literally, I don't want you to work for me. I want you to have your own LLC. I want you to go out and do your own deals. You can use my internet. You can use my printer. We have an attorney in the office that will close all the deals for us. And you guys just go out and flourish. Right? And if we can work together while you're in that office, great. So joinventureatlas.com. Obviously, we're not going to open the doors until I get back from We Live on the 8th. But what I'm doing is sometime next month, we'll have a party there. We'll invite you guys to come out. We're going to have some champagne and stuff like that. And we're going to have a celebration inside of this office. And then that's going to be the grand opening of the space. But you guys are going to love it. It's beautiful. Everybody in the office has been going around buying furniture for us. Like I said, it's beautiful. There's absolutely no walls in this place. It's all glass. You can see the entire Winston-Salem from the floor. There's all windows. So you can see the entire Winston-Salem. And we're on a floor on ourselves. Nobody else is on that floor. So it's a very big, nice, spacious office. I'm excited to open up our new. So we're closing down our other office, and we're gonna all be working out of the same office. So I don't know if y'all excited, but I'm excited as hell. So these quick conversations and these quick questions that you have, just know you have backup. Now Shannon and her team of salespeople can answer these questions for you because you're gonna be in the same office. You're gonna be on a phone call, you're gonna be negotiating. You can put it on mute and ask for help. Right, so that's the type of office environment we're trying to build, and I think it's gonna be great. I could be completely wrong, this could fail. But either way, I'm willing to take a chance. So I'd be happy to see you guys, obviously when we do our party. But yes, sir.
Do we need to dress up and come to work?
No, I don't. This is what I dress like every day when I go to work. But the point is this is me, right? So when you're gonna go see your customers, is this what you want your customers, the people that you want to see? That's up to you, right? So my knowledge outweighs what I wear to work every day, right? So obviously you want to be presentable, but no, I don't own suit and ties and stuff like that. Cool? We need to get out of here because they're gonna charge me more money for this room. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next month.